Hey everybody, this is November 12th, 2008. I'm Sonic Sun. Let's do a little bit more of random creativity thing here. I got IMDb here relating their supposed announcement sort of thing of a Nick Fury movie for 2010. Who knows if that'll come out to reality. That's why I said supposed. If you don't know, Nick Fury is a character from comic books from Marvel. Not one I personally know a whole lot about, but like many things I don't know a whole lot about, I'm going to talk about it now. You've noticed, I'm sure, the last few years or so, we've had a huge upswing in movies based on comic book characters, and in fact, everything you can think of from like previous couple of decades. Everything's being remade, you know, because now we have computer graphics, now we can do cool stuff. Now we can. So after success is like, you know, some Spider-Man, X-Men, and of course, Batman working out on the DC side. Besides Batman, DC's not really coming up here close to Marvel and all the movies they've made. But Batman was awesome, of course. Nick Fury, though, is slightly different, and I really would like them to make a movie about him because you could do a couple of things. One thing they have also announced is doing a movie. Marvel is doing a movie that is of the Avengers. That's, in other words, all their coolest superheroes join a team and they fight something really powerful and something like that. I don't know. Big old supervillains type of thing. And I'd like to establish a connected world, like if I worked at Marvel, which I don't. I just love speculating on these things, though. Let's establish a connected world thing where you could theoretically have a team get together and stuff. I think you could easily run the risk of slapping stuff together. You know, and suddenly, you know, Spider-Man meets the Hulk, meets the... and we all get together here. You know, there's Captain America, is kind of a movie coming out, and Thor, and everyone's got different personalities, for one thing. I see them all working together, it'd be interesting. I guess Spider-Man could get along with, you know, Bruce Banner on the geek side of things. But in combat, Hulk's a little more difficult. Nick Fury is a non-powered person, right? He's in charge of this super spy military type organization thingy called S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'd like to see a movie about a guy being a leader, and that's his superpower, you know? We haven't really seen that. I guess there are leaders and a couple of things. We saw good old like Optimus Prime leading the Autobots and Transformers, but I want to see someone like who's actually got like gears really turning his head, like really complicated plans and stuff. I would love to see Nick Fury, like his superpower is wherever he is, there's like a dozen people somewhere in the shadows that could shoot you at any moment, and you don't know where they are. I can just imagine playing with this. Like, Nick Fury's walking down the street, you know, and like someone's tries to mug him or something. And Fury, of course, himself could easily take this man down without any help from anybody else. Yeah, he's got skills himself, but he doesn't even bother doing that because with just like a particular, you know, tilt of the head or something, suddenly the mugger just and falls over, and you see he's been shot in the back, no less, by like a sleeping dart. And as the audience, you're like, wait, where did that come from? I like to imagine sort of retconning. Retconning is a nasty thing generally, but imagine Fury's been around building up S.H.I.E.L.D. over the last like couple of decades or something, and monitoring the coming of the superheroes. You know, he's had spies in the background checking up on like Peter Parker, trying to see what. He doesn't know Peter Parker. Maybe he does know at this point. Who knows? Checking out with Spider-Man, certainly. Trying to figure out his powers. I'm trying to figure out how that might happen. Trying to figure out how he can reverse engineer. And the same with all the villains, too. Naturally, he did appear after the credits in Iron Man. You know, I'm sure he's had people like looking in on, you know, their technology for a long while. And you know, now that he got this great weapon, let's see if we can put that together and such. I guess, you know, Fury was always around. You know, he was always in the background planning out everything on practically everything, and then you kind of have to explain why he didn't, you know, intervene with every villain that came along. But of course they're busy with their own, you know, evil people, the Hydras, like the anti-S.H.I.E.L.D. people, and heck, they could be, you know, sort of tangentially involved with some of the other plots that we've seen, huh? You know, maybe Hydra was in, you know, just somewhat connected or affiliated with those terrorist dudes that first attacked Tony Stark. You know, etc., etc. Who knows? I just love these little bits in my head. This is how I think. You see, I just think of little pieces. Like Nick Fury's meeting, like I don't know, let's say Tony Stark and like Peter Parker and something, like in a restaurant or whatever, in this booth, and they're discussing their plans and such. And maybe Stark would just be like, you know, well, what kind of organization do you really have? And just suddenly the waiter who's serving their drinks like pulls out a gun and puts it to his neck. It's like, oh, that guy's an agent. Oh, you never know these things. Like later in that scene, I don't know, someone like attacks the place. Like there's some big explosion outside, and then suddenly every single person in the whole restaurant, like all like 250 people, it's a big place, they all jump up and pull out weapons and like start evacuating, you know, VIPs or whatever, making sure Fury and the heroes get to safety or whatever they need. I just love that sort of reveal. The entire restaurant? And then whatever it is happens. But you know, I like the character of someone who might have very long-term plans. And then, of course, you know, needs to work with these heroes and whatever to do whatever it is they're going to do in the Avengers movie and such. A Nick Fury film could be a neat little prequel to that. Yeah, that's what I think. Thanks for watching. See you later.